One of Colorado's former players just took a shot at the program. Plus, the Buffaloes have had a pretty active week with the transfer portal. All that and more on today's episode of 4th and 10. 4 college football stories in just around 10 minutes. Now, let's go for it. Before we get to today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. Cormani McClain became one of the more highly touted players to enter the transfer portal last week. The former 5-star spent only one season at Colorado, and I guess that was enough for him. Well, we're learning a little more as to why McClain decided to enter the portal, as he took shots at his former program. Here's a video he posted on his YouTube channel where he answered fan questions. He didn't go too in depth, but he said a couple of things about Colorado, including how he wants to now play for a real program and how he doesn't want to play for clicks.
I'm just ready to bring the old version of me out and change the narrative of everyone's thinking on my name. Be a part of a real and a great program that's going to impact me at my best ability. And yeah, ready to get to a new place and get to work. Yeah, you already know. No hard feelings. Some people just gotta take a step back from things sometimes. Certain people, you know. Yeah, I feel like I just don't want to play for the clicks. I actually want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players.
Last year, McClain was a 5-star recruit out of Florida and was considered to be the top-ranked quarterback of his class. He chose Colorado over schools like Florida and Miami. Since initially entering the transfer portal, McClain says he's already heard from 11 teams. There are some pretty big names, as teams like LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M, USC, Georgia, and Oregon have all expressed interest. According to ESPN's Pete Thamel, he expects McClain to end up at a blue blood program. The other day, Deion Sanders was asked about McClain entering the transfer portal, and here's what he had to say. "I'm always in prayer for young men, and I want the best for them, and I pray to God that he goes to a program that challenges him, as well as holds him accountable and develops him as a young man. Unfortunately, we weren't the program that could accomplish that." I talked about this in my video from last week, but this move shouldn't come as a major surprise, as there was already some tension between McClain and Deion. Overall, he appeared in 9 games last season, but he didn't get too many starts or see the field as much as we all were expecting. He was benched, and Deion Sanders encouraged McClain to show up to the darn meetings when asked about what the cornerback needs to improve on. McClain's former high school coach, Keith Bearfield, even agreed with Deion Sanders' comments, telling CBS Sports that it was a lot of work trying to get him to do the right thing. "I don't want to say I was necessarily surprised. That was a lot of work that I had to do getting him to start doing the right thing. He's a kid that grew up and always got away with things because of how good an athlete he was. Some things we did were that first step of taking steps towards it, and kind of warning him about it. Florida kids are going to stretch your limit. They're always going to fall to the floor of your standards. Whatever that floor is, they're going to fall to it. That's why I like Deion for Cormani, because I knew Deion wouldn't kiss his butt." So with all this going on, it's going to be interesting to see where McClain ends up next season and how he looks under a brand new coaching staff. We'll stay on the topic of Colorado because they have added a lot of players via the portal over the last couple of days. We'll start with former Ohio State running back Dallan Hayden. He entered the portal last week, which came as a bit of a surprise. Despite having a deep running back room at Ohio State, he made it sound like he was going to stay and compete for snaps with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Instead, he wanted a brand new opportunity and chose Colorado. Hayden looked like a potential star in the making during his freshman campaign with the Buckeyes. He ran for nearly 600 yards with 6 rushing scores and looked like he'd be a stud for years to come. Unfortunately, his 2023 season was pretty much wiped out due to injuries. He appeared in only 3 games and redshirted. During those 3 games, he only got a handful of snaps as well. I actually had this video already recorded, but I just saw that running back Dylan Edwards is going to be entering the transfer portal. Now, this one is actually really surprising because he was the Buffalo's leading rusher last season and was one of their top playmakers. Well, maybe that's why Dallin Hayden opted to transfer to Colorado, because he knew he'd be the lead back there. Last season, Edwards had nearly 700 yards of total offense and had 5 touchdowns. Like I just mentioned, he was one of the top playmakers for the Buffaloes, but I guess he wanted an opportunity somewhere else. So that's going to be an interesting storyline to follow to see where he ends up with his next program. We saw last season how Colorado had one of the worst offensive lines in all of college football. Well, they picked up a piece that should likely help them. They picked up former Texas offensive lineman Peyton Kirkland. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school and had some offers from the best programs out there, but he ultimately chose Texas. Despite his high pedigree, he never appeared in a game for the Longhorns. Still, he has the size and clearly has the talent, but he just needs an opportunity. And with how bad Colorado's offensive line was this past year, he'll get that opportunity. Finally, the Buffs boosted their defense by landing former Pittsburgh defensive end Deion Hayes. This was considered to be one of the top defensive players remaining in the portal, so this is a big get for the Buffaloes. He was a beast last season for the Panthers, as he recorded a career-high 45 tackles and a career-high 10.5 tackles for loss with 4 sacks. In his Pittsburgh career, he racked up 26.5 tackles for loss with 13 sacks. So whenever he's on the field, he's one of the best defensive players out there. Now, this is huge for Colorado because their defense was pretty trash last year. The Buffaloes ranked number 63 in sacks and were number 78 in defensive pressures. Little by little, this team is improving across the board this offseason. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode of 4th and 10. What are your thoughts on the whole McClain situation where he called out Colorado? Do you think it was okay for him to publicly state that, or do you think this was something that he should have kept quiet? If you're a program that's looking to add him in the transfer portal, are you going to look at this as a red flag, or are you not going to care at all and just say, hey, this is a former 5-star recruit, let's get him at our program? Whatever your thoughts are on the entire situation and what Colorado's doing in the transfer portal, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all off season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.
What are some things you're looking forward to at your next place? I'm just ready to bring the old version of me out and change the narrative of everyone's thinking on my name. I don't know why everybody say the school part about me. I got A's and B's, so it's never the school part, just to clear that up with you guys. And yeah, stand up top of school is the biggest impact right now. Just know whoever you are, you're getting a dog that's ready to work. And yeah, that's simple fact.